What's going on, everybody? Watching Channel here, back with another figure to review. And first of all, I want to wish you all a happy Friday the 13th. And for this review, I'm going to be reviewing one of Neca's Friday the 13th figures. And this Friday the 13th figure is from the movie Friday the 13th Part 3. Part 3D is what it says in the cover right there. I like how this cover from this figure is it's a lenticular cover. You can hear that, and you can probably see some movement right there. I really like this cover, you know. You see some movement right there. It's a really nice cover. I really like this one. And obviously this cover is based on the cover of the movie from Friday the 13th. Neca always does this gesture. And my copy of this version of the movie or DVD cover, it's, well, a little similar, I guess. I mean, it obviously they copied the cover from the original cover of the VHS Friday the 13th Part 3, except that I don't have it I don't have it by hand. You know, it's like somewhere in my collections, and like, you know, for those of you who still have VHS on your house, yeah, you know that struggle. But yeah, the best thing that I could do was got the DVD cover. It's a little similar with the machete right there with the blood dripping and like stabbing through. Right here in the cover, you see it's like a shower curtain. You see the shower right there and the curtains. He's just like stabbing his machete through there. You know, it's pretty awesome. The side of the box, you see a picture of the figure right there, Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D. There's a nice promotional picture of the figure, and right there is Neca. The same picture is actually also on both sides. The inferior part of the box, you see some license from New Line Cinema and the people who are responsible for this, creating this figure. There's the NECA, there's the barcode as well. The top of the box, there's a warning of choking hazards for small parts, the edge for 17 and up, and there's a logo of Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D. On the back side of the box, you see more promotional pictures of the figure. A little bit of background right there. You can pause that and read that if you wish. And going down, you see more promotional pictures of the figure along with his accessories that he has. And most of his accessories are all weapons. And opening the lenticular cover, you can also see the window box of the figure, his accessories, and they got a nice look promotional picture of the figure right there. Pretty nice. So yeah, let's get this guy open so we can have a closer look. Okay, here we have the figure, and we can start off with the measurement tape. And Jason, he stands right about 7 inches and a half. That turns out to be 19 centimeters. And of course, Jason is known to be a tall guy, a really tall dude. And it all really depends on like which Jason are you referring to, because there's like so many movies of Jason, and like there's been several actors who play that character of Jason, and those characters, you know, they all have, you know, different height. And I mean, if you want to describe of Kane Hodder, you know, Kane Hodder is known to play Jason, and he was like a really big guy, bulky dude, and that's how people know Jason to be like this really tall guy. And the early Jasons that we got to see, like from the early Friday the 13th movies back in the 80s, was a character was an actor that was like, I guess, above average. You know, wasn't really like a monster, like a tall, almost 7 feet guy. You know, like the actor from this Jason Friday the 13th Part 3. The actor was Richard Brooker, and that guy was like 6'3", and so yeah, he was a tall dude, like above average. I mean, Kane Hodder, I think he was like 6'3" or 6'4", except that he was a little bulkier, and that made Jason look, a lot bigger. But anyways, let's get to the figure. This is the Jason from Friday the 13th Part 3. And another thing about this figure, about this character, is that this is the Jason that started it all um from the famous hockey mask and then the machete, because like we didn't get to see Jason like how we know now since the first and second movie, because obviously the first movie it wasn't him who was the killer, it was Pamela Voorhees. The second movie, he had this, I don't know, like some kind of pillowcase over his head with the eye hole poked out, and yeah, it was like, yeah, it was not the Jason that we knew of today. We had to wait until three movies. We had to wait until a third movie so that we can see this Jason, this iconic character who we all know, and yeah, this is why I can say this is the Jason that started it all. And yeah, that movie was the one that, that movie that the third movie, directed by Steve Miner, he was the one who brought us this character, the hockey mask and the machete. And yeah, this is why if you're like a die-hard fan, you cannot miss this character in your collection. This Jason right here, and like looking at it good. He has like the paint job. It's like pretty clean. You get some silver paints in there. With the chevrons look pretty clean, and then yeah, the back side of the head too. You see some details right there a little bit, kind of like a lumpy head he has there. Like you see his deformation. Obviously, his head is all bald, and many other in many other movies, his character always changes. Sometimes you see like some strips of hair still on his head, and right here, it's just like all bald headed, and obviously the mask is removable, and you can see right there Jason's deformation, everything right there. You can see like a little bit of like a black wash a little bit on his head too, symbolizing like it's like dirty and stuff. He has a bloody neck. He has a bloody neck right here. We're gonna get to that part right now, but yeah, this is a Jason right there with his can't really tell the expression that he has on his face. But yeah, that's a nice paint job. Put the mask back on. Yeah. And on this jacket right here is some kind of like olive green jacket that he has. Yeah, he's a. You see like some stains right there, kind of like almost brown, kind of like almost blood that's almost drying off. Uh, Stains of blood right there, and down his crutch, you see a red stain on there too. He looks like his character's like pretty clean right here. He's got like a little lumpy bag right here on him, and yeah, you see some wrinkles, some details right there too. Really little tight jeans. Yeah, the jeans are a little tight. Yeah, but it was the 80s. I'm not. I don't know much about the fashion back then because the 80s that was a different era for me. And yeah, the paint on the shoes too. Symbolizing like it's um, like old. The shoes, they both have peg holes in there too, so you can place them on a setting, so you can like place them and do some posing with it. And the coat, it's like a nice rubbery, it's a rubbery plastic. I like that. I like that rubbery plastic. The part of the crutches too, you know, also it's a little rubber plastic too. It's really nice. I mean, he looks pretty simple. He doesn't look like a Jason that was like submerged out of the water. You know, he's more like some dude that's like in the woods, stalking his victims. I like how the background that we're using here from the box is right there. You know, the Crystal Lake seems to be like a nighttime, like a foggy night. You see the lamp right there flashing right there where Jason's standing. It looks pretty nice. I mean, he doesn't look like if he was like wet or anything, like he's emerged out of the water. But like, if they would have used a different background, I mean, I like this background, but if they would have used another one like in the woods, that fits more this Jason, I think that would have been a better option. And for accessories, well, he mostly has most of his accessories are weapons. I mean, he's got 7 weapons and 1 alternate hand. You see, he's got an harpoon gun right here, and he's got a pitchfork. He's got a machete. You know, you can't have a Jason without his machete. That's like his primary weapon. He's got this fire poker. Yeah, so really fragile plastic. Yeah. It's like really fragile plastic and quite bendable, so be careful with this guy. It will snap off without even trying. And you get this axe. The axe, you know, he's got like some red stains on it, symbolizing blood. It's a nice shaded paint right there. You know, it's a really nice paint job they got on the axe, and they got a little bit of blood right there. That's nice. Another bloody weapon is also this knife. Kind of like a almost like a pocket knife, or like a really like a knife that you use to like for like butter or something, like a butter knife. Yeah. Yeah, you see some blood right there, some blood stains in it. Pretty nice. And you also get this wrench. This wrench. Some of you call it a monkey wrench. And it doesn't have any moving abilities on this one. It's just a single piece. Nothing comes off. Yeah. And the last but not least, his last accessory that he has is his alternate head. Obviously, this one's like the battle damage Jason, because you see that gash that with some blood stains on it on the side of his head, the top left side of his head. You see some red stains in there too as well. And of course, it's also removable. I'm just gonna place it on the figure. Okay, now he has it on. And yeah, I think this is like a much better alternate head for Jason, because it's the battle damage, and this is what I'm talking about. I mean, the head is removable, the mask is removable, and there it is, Jason, battle damage Jason, because you know he had that, and you can see that gash right there, and then like a lot of blood split, like dripping all over his face, and obviously he has a different expression right there, showing more like some gums right there, more nasty or gross looking Jason. The formation right there, he has a more closed mouth. Right there, his teeth, and his teeth are exposed, and so are his gums. You see more of his deformity of Jason right there. The back side of the head too, you know, you see like a little bit of different color scheme right there. I mean, like the neck is a different color from the head, so like for others, you know, it's kind of like bothering. I've heard of many people that it bothers them how like the neck is a different color for the head. Yeah, but you know, some paint wash, you know, somebody can do. You know, people who customize figures, it's not a problem for them. The only thing that is bothering is the neck, because the neck is all painted in blood. Because changing the alternate head without the bloody battle damage Jason, you still have the neck that is in blood, and then like, but there's no blood on his head. This blood on his neck supposed to be symbolizing the blood that he has dripping down his face. So like, it makes no sense having a bloody neck and no no bloody head. And then like, yeah, if he would have killed someone, some of his victims, it would like splash blood over his shirt or his jacket, and like the only thing that has blood is his neck. I mean, the neck, is just a single piece. You can't just like change an entire neck. Yeah, that's something that it's like a little bit of it bothers a little bit, a little bit. I try not to get it to me, not letting it get to me. That's way much better having this head instead. Also for the hands, Jason has a gripping hand, and he also has a grasping hand, which it's more like an open hand. You can see, yeah. You can hold the axe. You can hold the pitchfork. You can hold that fire poker. You can hold that wrench on this right hand. You can use that small butter knife with his right hand also. You can also hold that harpoon gun. And the machete, his primary weapon. So basically, yeah, this Jason can hold all of his accessories with his right hand. If we could have an alternate hand, left hand, that would have been, good. I mean, well, we get it, Jason's a right-handed guy, but if we could have had at least a gripping hand, left-handed, it would have been better, so we can hold more than one weapon. And the machete right there is also a clean machete. It's a pretty clean machete, no blood stain or anything. I mean, in the cover of the box, we see that Jason, he has a bloody machete right there. I was hoping that obviously some fans were expecting a bloody machete, not a clean one. And the stain on his right leg, it's not so much, it's not a bigger stain like we have in the figure. So I guess they only teased us with the bloody machete. I mean, unless I heard that Neca released, or somewhere I heard that there's a reissue of this figure, so I have to check it out. For articulation, Jason's head is on the bolt peg. He can swivel up and left and right. He's got a good range in motion. You can up this down. You can look down too, and he can have ball joints on the shoulders. You can extend them. They can rotate all the way around, no problem. He's got a single articulation on the elbows, and you can rotate as well. He's got the ball joint on the wrist. You can swivel and hinge. He's got the articulation on the waist. You can turn left and right. I don't see any articulation on the torso. You can do a nice little split. Lift this leg up this high. Single hinge on the knee. You can rotate as well. He's got the rotation on the thighs too. It's got that rotation on the feet and also hinge. So yeah, let's end this with some comparison size. In Marvel Legends here you have him with a Wolverine 6 inches, a 7-inch Cyclops. Here I have him next to a 6-inch DC Collectibles and a 7-inch Batman from Mattel. Two 7-inch DBZ figures from Dragon Stars. One 7-inch Dutch and Ellen Ripley figures from Neca. Two aliens from Neca. And two 8-inch Predator figures from Neca.